Hey there, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today I'm going to do a continuation of the October reading for Cancer. If this is your first time, you might want to go back and review that video. You can click on my icon at the bottom of the video and go to the Cancer reading for October 2022. Or at the end of the video there's a link to your playlist for all Cancer tarot reading videos on my channel, okay? If you're returning, you will have probably seen that video, so I'm not going to go into explanation, except I'm continuing that reading from October 2022, and we're going to look at this decision that you were making. What I've done is I've laid out some cards for the decision you had to make, the role that the Queen of Spades had to do with the situation. If you want to go back and review that video, you'll see that the Queen of Spades came out, and I wasn't really sure what kind of role she played or who she was. And then we have some cards of advice. But the crux of the matter was you needed to make a decision, but you needed to wait for some truth to be revealed first. So let's go ahead and see what we can see about this truth that needed to be revealed. Some changes in finances for sure. It might have involved somebody who was a little bit experienced or younger than you. I'm not necessarily seeing that as you, but it is a air sign, for example, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Some truth needed to be revealed, perhaps. Dealing with a business. This is the entrepreneurial card. Just give me a second here. This card right here was about this Five of Clubs. Sorry, I should hold it up. Is about the need for some kind of changes to happen. Some kind of changes needed to happen, perhaps in a business situation. Now, if you don't own your own business, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're addressing you in this reading. But there's something to do with, well, I'll just go ahead and talk about the Jack of Spades. You've probably heard me talk about Jack of Spades in there. This is somebody with some kind of hidden agenda. So I feel like, it's actually very pertinent. There were some kind of changes that needed to be made in some kind of financial situation or business situation. But there was somebody who had a hidden agenda. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers on that. A person could have been younger, and like I said, could have been a water sign. But let's go ahead and ask for more cards. Interesting. I'm kind of sensing with this Ten of Spades. This is a major completion card. It's also, it's about some kind of major ending that's not so positive. It's definitely a major loss, a major disappointment in some way. I mean, this can be catastrophic. This can be traumatic. Something needed to end here. Something needed to end here. That's what needed to be revealed before you made a decision. Did this thing that needed to end? I'm gonna see. Bear with me, Cancer, because this is the first time I'm doing these types of readings. I think I kind of explained in that other video. Yeah, look at this. You got the Tower. Couldn't make this up if I tried. You know what? Whatever decision you were making, it wasn't necessarily information that needed to come out. It's something that needed to occur. A major event needed to happen. That's what it was. And it could have been catastrophic to somebody, not necessarily you. it probably involved these changes. Like I said, this is like the need for change and some kind of lifestyle. Dare I say some kind of marriage ended or somebody passed away, and obviously, especially if you live with the person, it's going to lead to a major change in your lifestyle, right? I'm going to ask for another card, though. Yeah, but it was definitely an event. I guess, in a way, that's truth being revealed, because it's the future. You know, the truth was revealed by it occurring. Unforeseen circumstances, that kind of thing, can certainly change our minds if we were headed in a certain direction about a decision. But you also have the Four of Clubs here, and this talks about feeling content and satisfied in your home life. Things are very balanced, stable, secure. It also talks about business decisions. I don't usually use that meaning with this card, but since we do have the entrepreneurship card, so it looks to me like the decision probably had to do with business. Again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself. Just kind of a recap, or some kind of financial situation. Okay, but some kind of major event had to happen or pass by, like over the period of time this event transpired, and now it's past you, and this has led to your decision. What kind of decision was made here? What kind of decision? Can you tell me anything about the decision that was made for Cancer, or Cancer made mid-October? Huh. Well, that's interesting. So this is the card of things moving ahead, but this is also being stuck on some kind of idea. So whatever idea that you had in the beginning, I think you went ahead and went in that direction. That's all I'm going to do on this line here, because I'm not seeing any specifics about the situation. Apologize if it's kind of brief. But we are going to look at the Queen of Spades. There was a Queen of Spades energy that popped up before, and we do have the Jack of Spades this time. So with the Queen of Spades energy, we have the Six of Clubs, wow, the Six of Diamonds, and the Ten of Clubs. I did not think the Queen of Spades was you in the last reading. I do remember that. Now, the sixes here talk about options and opportunities. So perhaps the Queen of Spades person represented the person that was going to lead you to these new opportunities. Now, the Six of Clubs talks about personal growth. Can be in any area of your life, can be financially. I think we're talking about business and finances here, honestly, because we also have this about new ideas and ventures in business. This can be business planning. It could be as simple as like coming up with a new spending budget, you know. If you're just working for an employer, it's just a new way of budgeting your own money and how you spend it. Now, this ultimately led to some kind of major completion here that involved travel. Can be mental or emotional travel from one state to the other. I think the mental travel is more pertinent here, just because if you travel from one attitude or mindset or expectation, it's going to obviously lead to new opportunities, and you have a lot of opportunities there. So that Queen of Spades, whoever that is, they actually helped. They were kind of a catalyst in this area for you, in some way, shape, or form. Air sign again. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. See what else I can pull out about the Queen of Spades role in your decision, which led to you making the decision that you were originally, I think your gut instinct was telling you to make. Wow, this is the Two of Spades. This is about major splits with somebody, or and it's usually around relationships. Oh, I get it. You had to cut things off with the Queen of Spades to open up these opportunities. You know, I was suspecting that that person, whoever they are, was not a good influence, because the Queen of Spades, again, is somebody who can have malicious intents. They don't talk about what's going on behind the scenes. They kind of hold everything back, so you don't really know, maybe until it's too late, what their influence is, right? Let's see what else we can come out. Yes, and it led to this new start. So this Queen of Spades energy definitely opened up opportunities for you. I feel like the traveling, again, is the mental or emotional travel, probably away from them and their energy, because here's the split card, and here's the new start. Now, the new start is about, with the clubs here, it's talking about the desire for new information, new skill. So perhaps they were, this is what I'm getting. The Queen of Spades is somebody who is pivotal in your life as far as making decisions in this financial matter or this business matter before, but you had to split off from them to gain these new opportunities. And because they're gone, it all falls on your shoulders as far as which way you go from here on out. Does that make sense? So the devastating moment, I think, was the split off from the Queen of Spades. Whatever happened, there was a falling out, or they just like got pissed off and left. I mean, I'm kind of seeing that in my mind's eye here. It wasn't pretty though, because we have the Ace of Spades, the Tower card, literally, and the Ten of Spades. Those are like the darkest cards you can get about major loss and trauma and things not ending well. Yeah. Yeah. I think you were mixed up with this character in, now remember, I'm not reading specifics, so don't look at the Queen of Spades as being female. It could have been a male character there, an air sign. But the original idea you had with this Eight of Clubs, the fixed ideas, I think you went ahead and went with your gut on that. Anything else you can pull out before we look at cards of advice for Cancer? It's an interesting way to read. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. Thank you for your patience, though. Jack of Hearts. So yes, you are very hopeful with this energy. I think this is you. The Jack, you know, young, inexperienced, kind of out of your, what would they say, out of your element, out of your depth. That was the word I was looking for. And you kind of wear your heart in your sleeve, so you're a little bit vulnerable there, because you don't exactly know what you're doing, but you're hopeful and you're positive. This is very positive energy, and I do think that Queen of Spades was controlling and had some kind of power over the situation, but now that they're gone, this is where you went. You made your own decision. You beefed it up, Cancer. Let's look at your cards of advice. Look, there she is again. I'm thinking it's going to say leave this character behind, because I just explained about that Queen of Spades energy. Not so, they have some power and authority and some wisdom, but not such a great energy to have around you. With the Four of Spades, yes. So you're looking at stability and security in the home life, but this talks about experiencing some stress relief. So I think this Queen of Spades character left the home in some form or fashion. Perhaps you were actually living with them as well, or just working really closely with them. You don't have to be like on top of each other, right? But if you were, this talks about the stress being gone from the home life that this was creating. And here's the Queen of Hearts. How sweet is that? So this is the energy I think you're being recommended to embody. This is you. This is a water energy, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. She's very nurturing. She's wise. She's a mothering figure. She takes care of everybody. She takes care of everything. And most of all, she takes care of herself. Any more cards of advice for Cancer? Taking good care of Cancer. Cancer, taking good care of yourself. Look at that. Another Queen. Queen of Clubs. Yeah. So, on the flip side of being this loving, mothering figure, this is also the practicality of Queen, the Queen energy. Having power and authority, being more subtle on how they exercise it. This is a very generous and supportive Queen. She's somebody, honestly, you always want on your side. She's got charisma, she's graceful. I guess this is kind of your alter ego. Besides nurturing yourself, you want to have this this more social, wise persona that you want to kind of embody that kind of energy. I mean, because you definitely want to get away from this Queen of Spades. For sure. Now, another way to look at this, it just struck me, is that the Queen of Spades was you all along, and it was like some kind of ego you had to conquer. I am a very spiritual person, and so sometimes I inject things like that, so bear with me if it's not something you're familiar with or you want to hear about. But, you know, our egos can get in the way of our progress. It's possible you had an ego death. Like, I don't know, if somebody else did this to you, like put you in your place. Nevertheless, this Queen of Spades energy had to go to open up this new start. And the Two of Spades could be the split from this old you, this old kind of outdated way of looking at things, of doing things. Any more cards of advice? Yes. Five of Spades. So this is about the card of having major disruptions in your day-to-day living, in your lifestyle. It's usually about outside influences. So I think whatever journey you're on here, Cancer, you're going to have to learn to ride the tide. I'm hearing ride the tide. Like there's some stress that could be caused just by the nature of this business or this financial situation that you're involved in. And there's going to be disruptions. Hey Cancer, sorry about that. I had a little break in the video. I had changed my battery. So, picking up where I left off, I was talking about the Five of Spades here and how any kind of business venture, and I'm strongly feeling, I was changing the battery, I was like, this is definitely about somebody who's in business for themselves, or they're running some kind of business with other people, like a small group, not necessarily a big national corporation type of thing, but you know how easy it is to do business online these days, right? It's very possible. Anyway, I think you're getting a little bit of a heads up about just expect some disruption for surprise events, outside influences. It kind of goes with the territory. I keep hearing kind of goes with the territory. But you're being asked to queen up. Queen up. So maybe talking to a very feminine energy, a feminine, more feminine sided Cancer here. This queen energy is very dominant. If it's not obvious to you, it's obvious to me about having that kind of softer authority. You know, I see the king energy as being more dominant and controlling and kind of like in your face, but the queen energy is more subtle. They have more a gentle touch about it. I think it's, like I said, if this doesn't represent a person, this represents an ego, this is what you want to stay away from. That would make this reading actually very complex if we're talking about an ego death. No joke. Didn't even occur to me until later in this reading that that could be what the Queen of Spades was. It was a part of you that you needed to let go of so that you could move forward. Does that make sense? Because that actually makes a lot of damn sense. And opening up opportunities, when we let go of those parts of those of our ego that holds us back, that's limiting. Like I said, it's just not it's not to have limiting parts of us controlling something as important as a business. It's going to limit our options and our opportunities. But you got, look. You got the 6 of diamonds and you got the 6 of clubs about personal growth and financial growth. Right there in the middle. It all points in that direction. Okay. Very interesting reading. Very interesting how I did this month. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense and I hope it helped you. I look forward to next set of readings. Probably won't do bonus for October. Believe it or not, I have another trip planned before the end of the month, and we're probably just looking at November, which is fine, right? Okay, thank you for joining me, and take care until I see you again.